So welcome back if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time. Today we are diving into one of the most famous and honestly heartbreaking love triangles in royal history. We are talking about the complex and often scandalous relationship between Princess Diana, the King Charles, and the Queen Camilla Parker Bowles. And the reason I'm into that is because they are sort of like two women who matured women. All these people are matured. Two women who seem close to each other. One is cold, the other one is bubbly, and there is a masculine in between them. These are all mature people, but they are unhappy. The cold one seems to be in committed relationship with the masculine, or probably marriage kind of a thing. That's the vibes. They are like married couples. And the bubbly one is like a close acquaintance to them. But there is tension among these people, and there is an old mother too who is involved among them, and she's always among them. Group-wise, it's like they're always together, and they have events, big events. And the old mother is one of these people's mother, either the male or one of the ladies. It's like as if these two women are sisters, and the cold one is married to the masculine. But there is always to and fro exchange of sarcasm between these two women. The cold one is always collected and witty, while the other one is all up in her emotions and takes a lot of things personal. Anyway, it seems like the masculine loves the bubbly one, but because of inconvenience, he chose the cold one. And that links to the love triangle of the royal family, because that is what we are guided to look up to. I must admit, it eats my head to not understand why people waste their time in their lives listening to other people who don't really have their best interest, and they just end up miserable for so long. I mean, life is short. Why waste it with doing what you don't want? Just make it simple and choose what you really want, and do not allow people to dictate your life. But anyway, it's easy said than done. And generally, we see such things happening all the time. So, the love triangle, it's a story that has fascinated the world for decades. So let's break it down and talk about the real drama behind the headlines. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's get into it. So let's rewind a bit. It's the 1980s, and during that time, the King Charles was Prince Charles, then heir to the British throne, and is searching for a wife. And here enters Princess Diana, who was at that time a young kindergarten teacher. They meet, sparks fly, and a fairy tale begins to unfold. Charles and Diana's wedding in 1981 is broadcasted all over the world, and they seem like the perfect couple. But what the public didn't know was that behind the scenes, things were far from perfect. Now, this is where things get really juicy, because why does this thing feel like a gossip corner? I don't usually look such things. Anyway, we are guided to look it up, and that's why we're here today. Before he ever met Diana, Charles was in love with Camilla Parker Bowles. But here's the thing, Camilla wasn't suitable in the eyes of the royal family. She was older, a commoner, and let's be honest, Charles was still trying to do his royal duty by marrying someone who fit the mold of a princess. But even though Charles was marrying Diana, his heart was still with Camilla. They kept in touch throughout his marriage, and eventually an affair started to develop. Diana, of course, had no idea at first. Can you imagine being in her shoes? Living what seemed like a dream only to find out your husband is still in love with someone else. And that links us to our three people in the collective. So now let's talk about Diana for a moment. Diana had a really tough time dealing with her marriage. She was young, vulnerable, and she was thrust into the spotlight in a way no one could have prepared for. And as much as Charles tried to convince her otherwise, the tension between them only grew. And she soon became aware of his relationship with Camilla. And let's just say it didn't go over well. You might remember that famous 1995 BBC interview where Diana opened up about the struggles of her marriage. She famously said, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." That was her subtle way of referring to Camilla. This really was the moment when the world saw just how difficult her relationship with Charles had become. Of course, as we all know, eventually the affair between Charles and Camilla became public knowledge. It was a huge scandal, one of the biggest in royal history. The British tabloids had a field day, and the royal family's reputation was taking a serious hit. Diana became a worldwide symbol of grace under pressure. But let's be real, her heart was breaking. She was finally freed from a marriage that, by all accounts, was never really built on love. Fast forward to 1996, and after years of tension, Diana and Charles officially divorced. The press went wild. The world was left wondering what would come next. But here's the thing. Diana's story didn't end with her divorce. She became a global icon for compassion, charity, and strength, and her relationship with her children, William and Harry, was her main focus. As for Charles and Camilla, well, their relationship wasn't as scandalous in the end as people once thought. Camilla stuck by Charles through thick and thin, and after years of public scrutiny, they eventually married in 2005. In fact, Camilla became a key member of the royal family and has found her own place within it. But to this day, people still look back on the complex and heartbreaking dynamics between these 3. Let's not forget the lasting legacy of Princess Diana. She may not have gotten the fairy tale ending she deserved, but she was a beacon of resilience. Her compassion, her advocacy for causes like AIDS awareness and landmine victims, and the way she raised her sons have made her one of the most beloved figures in modern history. So there you have it. The love triangle between Charles, Diana, and Camilla is one of those stories that still captivates people to this day. It's full of drama, heartbreak, and real human emotion. But ultimately, it shows us that sometimes life doesn't go according to plan, but we can still find our own happiness in unexpected ways. So, I don't know what you think about this royal love triangle. Let me know in the comments below. And so, this is the guidance I was given to look up Princess Diana, because they were showing Princess Diana. And these 3 people, it's hard, I know, for these 3 people, because they are together because of convenience reasons. They have to be together all over the place. They have events together, and together with this old mother of theirs. These are all matured people, but they're wasting their time doing whatever they are doing. and it's not working out for any of them, while they are trying to put up a facade for the whole world to look upon them as examples. They're just dying each and every day is a little death for these three people, because there are two people who love each other, but they are not able to get together just because of some other commitment that is made up because of convenience reasons. And that's why we have this Lady Diana guidance shown to give a more better view of how this thing is going to be. And I hope this helps someone understand whatever they are going through, understand that life is short and it's not worth wasting away just because you want to have a favor of somebody, and you are just dying each and every day a little bit by bit. So I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into royal history, and don't forget to share, please, if you know anyone who can benefit from this. And I hope that helps someone know that they should not waste their time and do what they ought to do so that it doesn't feel too late later on. Yes, everything is divine timing, but sometimes you need to put up boundaries and do what is right for you. So until next time, I'll see you in the next one with much love. God bless.